Welcome to the channel Reflections of Time.
In this video, we are on a journey to uncover the knowledge lost in the dusty shelves of history. Why were some inventions forgotten? Why did certain books vanish? And why did humanity lose knowledge as fast as it produced it? The answers to these questions are not only key to understanding the past, but also vital to questioning the present. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Now, let us step into the forgotten memory of humankind.
The lost journey of knowledge.
Throughout human history, knowledge has been both preserved and destroyed. From the earliest written records, people tried to document what they learned. Yet many forces worked against this effort. Fires, wars, natural disasters, and political agendas. Sometimes ignorance, sometimes intentional destruction. This is where history's black box appears, because some knowledge was never found, and some can no longer be reached. To understand how and why knowledge was lost, we must examine the greatest disappearances in history. This is not only a tragedy of the past, but a warning for today.
The Library of Alexandria, a past in flames.
The Library of Alexandria, one of the greatest repositories of knowledge in the ancient world, is the first example that comes to mind when we speak of lost information. Built in the Egyptian city of Alexandria, the library housed the most valuable scrolls and scientific texts of its time. Historians estimate that hundreds of thousands of papyrus scrolls were stored there. These documents brought together the knowledge of Greek philosophers, Egyptian priests, Indian mathematicians, and Mesopotamian astronomers. But this great center of knowledge was damaged multiple times. The Library of Alexandria did not burn once, it burned many times. Each fire may have had a different cause. Some sources blame a campaign by Roman Emperor Julius Caesar. Others mention religious conflicts and political pressure in later centuries. Today, almost none of those scrolls survive. Thousands of years of knowledge literally turned to ash. And this was more than a building. It was one of the largest graves of human history's memory.
Ancient inventions. Rediscovered technology.
Some technologies were invented centuries ago and then forgotten. That knowledge disappeared, forcing future generations to rediscover the same ideas from scratch. One of the most famous examples is the Antikythera mechanism. Found in a sunken ship off the coast of Greece, this device was designed to calculate astronomical movements. It was built about 2,000 years ago and worked on principles similar to modern clockwork, long before such technology was developed again. But knowledge of this device was lost for centuries. Europe would not produce anything comparable for another 1,000 years. This proves that when knowledge is lost, it erases the past and delays the future. Another example is Roman concrete. Engineers in ancient Rome created a type of concrete that became stronger over time and could resist seawater. But the formula was forgotten during the Middle Ages. Modern concrete came much later. This shows that knowledge depends not only on writing, but also on transmission and continuity.
Book burnings. A direct attack on knowledge.
Knowledge has often been viewed as a threat, especially by those in power who fear opposing ideas. Throughout history, the act of burning books has been more than destruction. It has been a message. During the Middle Ages, many scientific texts were banned and destroyed under the Inquisition. Astronomical observations, anatomical diagrams, philosophical writings, all were labeled as heresy and eliminated. In more recent history, during the late 19th century, Nazi Germany burned hundreds of thousands of books. Works by Jewish, socialist, liberal, and other minority authors were publicly burned. The goal was to eliminate thought itself, because uncontrolled knowledge threatens authority. Thus, attacks on knowledge have not only physical but also psychological consequences. Every book lost takes a part of the future with it.
The death of language. When knowledge doors close.
Knowledge is not only stored in books and buildings. Language itself is a treasure of knowledge. Yet over time, many languages are forgotten, and with them, the knowledge of entire cultures disappears. There are thousands of native languages in the world. Many are no longer spoken. When the last speaker of a language dies, the language dies with them. And this is not just the loss of words, but the loss of a unique way of understanding the world. Some languages describe nature in completely different ways. They perceive colors, directions, and time in ways unfamiliar to us. So when a language disappears, it is not just a cultural loss, it is a loss of human thought itself.
Oral culture and the fragility of memory.
Many societies throughout history passed on knowledge not through writing, but through spoken word. Epics, legends, stories, poems, and songs. These were the tools of memory passed from one generation to the next. But the greatest weakness of oral tradition is its vulnerability to crisis. A war, a plague, a migration. When the storytellers vanish, the knowledge vanishes with them. For example, the oral traditions of Australian Aboriginals or African tribes were not just entertainment. They contained critical survival knowledge. Where to find water, which plants are poisonous, which animals are dangerous. This information was preserved through speech for centuries, but when not written down, it was lost forever. Today we have recordings and videos, but these are not indestructible. A shift in technology or a digital collapse could wipe out vast amounts of information. The black box of history is not just a relic of the past. It is a present danger in our digital world.
War and the side effects on knowledge.
War causes more than physical destruction. It leads to the cultural, artistic, and scientific loss of entire civilizations. During invasions, societies often lose not just their soldiers, but their memory. During World War II, hundreds of museums across Europe were looted. Thousands of books were burned. Archives were bombed. In the modern Middle East, many archaeological sites, ancient mosaics, temples, and tablets have been destroyed. Some were targeted deliberately. Others were lost by accident. These are not just national losses. They are silent erasures of humanity's shared heritage.
The suppression of knowledge.
Not all knowledge is destroyed physically. Sometimes it is hidden, censored, or suppressed. Those in power may not want certain truths to be known. So access to information is limited. In oppressive regimes, history books are rewritten. Some events are erased, some documents locked away. Truth is sacrificed for official narratives. Throughout history, many scientists, philosophers, and artists have been punished or silenced for what they thought or wrote. This leads not only to the physical disappearance of knowledge, but its mental erasure. Society becomes passive. Forgetting is no longer accidental. It becomes a tool.
The fragility of modern knowledge.
Today, access to information seems easier than ever. The internet, digital archives, audiobooks, videos. But this abundance brings a hidden weakness. A server crash, a platform shutdown, a system failure. Billions of data files could disappear instantly. Digital content ages quickly. The formats we use today may become unreadable in 10 years. We are also living in an era of misinformation. In this age, visibility matters more than truth. While accurate information fades away, falsehoods spread faster. This is the modern version of the black box of history. Loss now occurs not only physically, but digitally and perceptually. Knowledge is the most valuable treasure of humanity. but it is not as secure as we might think. The ashes of the Library of Alexandria, forgotten inventions, dead languages, burned books, and the traces of war all tell us one thing: if knowledge is not protected, it will be lost. Preserving what we have today requires more than archiving. It demands memory and will. To understand history, we must do more than remember. We must refuse to forget. Here on Reflections of Time, we explored the long history of lost knowledge. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment. See you in the next episode.